All right, so we're going to start sitting up today. And if you have a handy cushion and you wanted to sit on top of a pillow or a cushion, feel free. Sometimes it's a little bit more comfy to support the pelvis and also let it just tip a little bit forward. And then we'll start with the hands just resting on the knees, but send the palms to face up. And just give yourself a moment to arrive into your mat space and into your practice. Let's tune into the breath and observe the breath as you inhale. It comes in through the nose, and notice or feel for the abdomen expanding. As you breathe out, the abdomen draws back in, and the breath leaves through the nose. You might even, the first few rounds of breath, exaggerate the movement of the abdomen, like pressing it out as if it was a Buddha belly expanding and then gently pulling it back. This is just a little reminder that we want to use the diaphragm to work with our breath to help us draw into that state of rest and digest. The parasympathetic nervous system, and we want to try to stay in this state throughout the entire practice. So let's just start with a few simple movements here. As you inhale, the arms are going to reach up and overhead. The head might drop back. And as you exhale, you can reach them out like they would touch the side walls, and the fingertips will touch down towards the floor. Spin the palms up as you inhale, drop the head back. As you exhale, spin the hands out and down, let the chin drop down as the fingers touch the floor. Just one more like that. Good. Let's inhale and stretch the arms up. This time interlace the fingers, press the palms up, really stretch up, up, up. So you'll feel the sides of the ribs lift. See if you can try to draw the front ribs down. That's it. And you actually have to start to pull your fingertips apart, pull them out to the sides, and you'll kind of feel your back muscles, your lat muscles start to activate. And you'll also feel the armpits get a stretch. So there's a bit of effort here today. Good, just one more breath here. And then as you exhale, round through the spine, drop the chin to the throat and press those interlaced fingers forward. Relax the neck and the head here. One more breath, just to fill up that space between the shoulder blades, feeling it soften. Good, and then gently stretch the arms behind you, lift the chest, and interlace the fingers. One last time, you're gonna stretch those interlaced fingers behind you, lift the chin a little bit to keep the teeth together. Good, and you'll keep the fingers interlaced, but just let them drop down. I'm gonna spin from the side, you don't have to move. You're just gonna let the knuckles drop down. Maybe they catch the back of that pillow or even to the floor. So your sternum is really exaggerated lifting up here. And then drop your chin down to your throat. Good. And then we're gonna take a couple of neck rolls or circles with the head, stretching those knuckles down towards the cushion or towards the floor. If that's a little bit too strong, you can just sit up tall and stay with your center. Swap the direction. So we're going for about 3 each direction. They don't have to be huge. Good. One more full round. And then just gently release. Great. So you can move the cushion off to the side. You can always feel free to use that if you need it for your knees. But we're going to come forward onto all fours now, onto our tabletop position. And with curled toes, we're going to start to move through cat and cow, but I want you to try to segment the spine. So we're going to move only from tailbone first, top of head is last, and then we'll do that in both directions, okay? So starting with palms flat underneath shoulders, you're going to inhale, hit the tailbone, then lower the belly, lower the ribs, lower the sternum. You actually see your shoulder blades come towards one another, and then the chin lift. And then start with the tailbone. So keep the head up, just the tailbone top down, the low spine rounds, mid spine, up spine, and then chin to throat. We'll try that again. So from tailbone only, so we're segmenting the spine, low spine, belly drop, ribs drop, chest drops, your shoulder blades kiss, chin lift. Keep the head up, tailbone round, low spine rounds, mid spine, dome the upper back, shoulder blades stretch apart, chin to the throat. Now just one more like this. I know it's a little bit slow, I know it's a little bit weird, but once we get this segmented movement, oh, the spine moves so much more freely. Good. Now we're going to hold with the chin towards the throat, the spine round, point the toes, and we're going to start to move from top of head. So lift the head first, that feels really funny, and then start to drop the chest and shoulder blades, come to top, now ribs down and belly, and then tailbone point. Head drops down, upper spine round, mid spine, low spine, tailbone drop. Yeah, head up, drop chest. Shoulder blades kiss, ribs, belly, head down, and just one more time like this. I know it's funny. Head up, chest down, ribs, belly, tailbone. Amazing. Now let us shift forward the weight into the hands, the toes curl again, and then extend back up to downward facing dog. Now we're going to play around here today. You take as much rest as you need. If your shoulders are bothering you, drop to the knees and stretch the hands a bit in front of you. Otherwise, in our down dog, let's lift both heels, keep the knees bent, float the tailbone up to the ceiling, and then slowly soften the heels down, but keep the knees bent. Let's do this without moving the upper body if possible. Heels lift, so knees and bent thighs come towards belly, and then press heels down. So let's do that again, relaxing the neck and the shoulders, not fighting with ourselves to stay. Wonderful. Yeah, this time, let's lift the heel and drop both heels towards the right side. Keep them there, and see if you can just bend the knees now a couple of times. Extend and bend. My heels lift a little off the floor, that's cool. Press heavily into your left palm, feel that space down the left side. And we're going to come back up through center. And then drop both heels over to the left. Shoulders get a break in a moment. Bend and extend both knees, and you're pressing into that right hand really strongly. Great work. Come back to downward facing dog. Ripple yourself forward towards a plank. And then rest your knees down. Shift forward and rest all the way down to the belly. Hands wider than the mat, high on the fingertips. Take a moment to rest your forehead and bridge of nose down. And notice already the stretch across your chest and shoulders. I think this is really important to feel for first. Start with a small movement, head and chin, collarbones lift. This is our breath in. And exhale, breath out, lower down. At each one, you're going to lift just a centimeter more. So don't go for a big, huge push-up or a big back bend. Just 1 centimeter higher with each breath in. And each time you'll feel just a little bit more muscle activation in the back side of the body. You'll feel a little more stretch in the front. So we have 2 more like this. Don't worry if you haven't reached your maximum capacity yet. Let's hold at the top. Inhale. As you exhale, lowering just the lower ribs, legs will lift. You can stay with this option. Inhale up, legs down. Or exhale as you lower, reach the arms and the legs out. Inhale, high on fingertips. Exhale, arms and legs straight. Now you might choose to place palms under shoulder, go a little deeper into your cobra stretch, or keep the hands wide and high on fingertips. Remember, you could keep the legs down, no problem. You have just 2 more. Getting a little bit more dynamic now as we activate the back line. We'll give it a stretch in the moment. Last one. We're going to hold with the arms and the legs extended out. Alternating right arm, left leg down, and left arm, right leg down. We alternate. We don't actually let the weight of the limbs rest on the floor. And if you're comfortable, you'll gradually increase the speed. Breathing in deeply, in and out through the nose. For 3, stretch the arms and legs away for 2. Lift a little higher in the torso if you can. And then relax. Good. You're going to rest your forehead on the back of the hands. Spin the toes to face in and the heels to face out. And really intentionally breathe into your navel center. So you're going to press your navel down into the mat as you breathe in. Fill up with as much breath as you can and hold it inside. And then exhale, empty as much breath out as you can. Feel the navel lift a little bit away from the floor so your belly tones. Soften that. Inhale, push the navel down. You'll feel the spine rise. Pause and hold the breath inside. See if you can take another sip of breath. Exhale, empty, 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 empty. When you find yourself empty, lift the navel. Let's say one more breath. Inhale deeply. So full of breath, your belly button is pushing into the floor. Your whole body is expanded. And then as you exhale, empty it all the way out. Feel the navel lift. Keep the navel there. Keep breathing, but keep the navel drawn away from the floor. Hands come under the shoulders. Peeled into the toes. You're going to peel yourself straight up to a plank. Hold for a breath in plank. And then start to walk the hands backwards until they reach your feet. Let's keep the feet hip distance and parallel and a soft bend in the knees. So you'll just find yourself in a forward fold. Make sure there's that nice gentle bend in the knees and try to shift the body weight more forward towards the balls of the feet. Hands could stay down on the floor. They might hold the elbows. But I want you to feel a real gentle release now of the muscles that we just activated on the back side of the body, as well as those hamstrings. Allow the head to hang so heavy that it feels like it's almost going to detach from the neck. 2 more breaths here. Then 1 more big breath. We're going to take our first rotation of the day, so don't force it. Just bend the knees enough that you can touch the floor with your left fingertips and peel the right arm up. See if you can straighten the right leg. Roll this right shoulder a little bit more on top. Reach actively up through the right fingertip. And now feel like you're stretching top of head and tailbone away from one another. On your next exhale breath, just return right hand down, bend the right knee. And use your inhale to stretch left arm up, left leg straight. Roll the left shoulder more on top of the right. So you feel that beautiful stretch across the chest. Gentle rotation in the spine. And top of head and tailbone away from one another. Good. Lowering that left hand down. Take a nice deep breath and reach both arms out to the side. You're going to come as tall as you can. Interlace the fingers and press the palms up. As you exhale, lift the heels up. Don't worry if you do a bit of a dance. Just try to stand on the tippy toes, looking out at one point in front of you. Standing tall, standing strong for 1 more breath. Good. Slowly lower the heels. So the inhale reaches our arms up, palms pressed. Exhale, twist to your right, bring your left hand in front. Inhale, sweep it all the way down, forward and up, palms tucked. Exhale, twist to the left. Inhale, down, forward and up. And exhale, forward fold. You're still at the back edge of your mat. Inhale, slide the hands up the shin. Exhale, crawl the hands all the way out to a little downward facing dog position. So if you're comfortable, we're going to take the right leg straight back up. Don't worry about what it looks like. Don't worry how high it is, but can you straighten the right leg, push it backwards, and then lift it up. Start to soften your left heel down to the floor. Stay 1 more breath. Good. Looking forward, we'll step the right foot all the way through the hand. Step the left knee down. If that right foot didn't make it, just give it some help. Shimmy it across. Left hand or fingertips stay down on the floor, and we're going to peel the right arm up. Stay in a twist. Pull the right knee into the midline. And then stretch the right arm a little backwards behind you. Look at your right thumb. Give your neck a stretch. Soften the hips down. Good. Stay here one more breath. Excellent. Good. Sweep that right arm all the way up like you're swimming to the front crawl and place the right hand down. We're going to walk both hands backwards and try to straighten this right leg. Now, for some of us, the floor will seem a little far away, and we could just place our hands on our hips, our thigh, or our shin. But more important that the toes are up and the right hip is pulling back. Good. Now you have the option to stay here, or as we're working with some twists today, you might like to try to reach the left hand down to the floor, and then again, peel the right arm up so you're in that same twist again. Good, great work, guys. Now from here, use the outer right hip. See if you can pull it backwards as we twist the spine more. You'll notice a really interesting sensation down the right side of the outer right leg there. Good, stay one more breath. And then release the right hand down. Just gonna let ourselves kind of soften and round as if you were just melting over top of the right leg. It doesn't matter how far down you get, and it's okay if your spine rounds. Relax the head and the neck here. Good, just one more breath. Good. Let's crawl the hands forward and then lift the back left knee so the left leg is really straight and strong. You want to think of the right side descending, dropping down, but at the same time, the left side lifting up. That's it, how we get active in our runner's lunge here. Good, now pull the sternum forward, extend to the spine, and maybe hover the fingers off the floor. Maybe even stretch them out to the sides, your shoulder blades try to kiss. Good, stay here one more breath. Wonderful. And then sweep the hands all the way forward and up. You could bend that back left knee a little bit, or you could even just set it down if you need. Good. Stretch up, 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 a little bit back. One more breath. Good. Send those hands all the way down and then step the right foot back to meet the left. Quite a lot of work there. So feel free, to pedal it out and one you extend the other. Yeah. Oh, the joy of working from home. Good, feet come close together to touch. And take that left leg and send it straight back up behind you. Stretch up to the left center heel, down through the right. Keep the two hips level. And let's do it. Look forward. Step the left foot all the way through the hands. Rest the right knee down. If you didn't quite get there, remember, you just shimmy that left foot forward. You got it. So from here, we're going to move into our little twist. Right fingertips or palms stay down, left hand goes up. Good. Sink a little bit down into the hips. If you squeeze the bottom, the bum squeeze here, you'll get a little bit more stretch in the hip flexor. Now keep rolling that left shoulder on top and stretch the left hand towards the back edge of the mat. Look back to the left thumb, stretch the neck more. And then swim that left arm all the way forward, placing it down. And we'll crawl the hands backwards first, just hold in that sort of half split stretch. So remember, the hands don't have to be able to touch the floor here. You can have them on the hips. We want the hips to stop relatively on top of the right knee. We're not trying to pull the bottom backwards over the heel. Good. Hands could be on hip, side, floor. And then if you'd like to try that rotation again, right here, stay down. Outer left hip pulls back, stretch the left arm up. So think of that same very first stretch we did when we were standing. We tried to straighten this leg to get a little bit more sensation in the outer left leg, okay? We tried to stack the left shoulder on top of the right. Twist the spine, but lengthen top of head and tailbone. Great work. Now the left hand comes down. We're just going to let the upper body kind of spill a little bit over top of the left thigh. So let it soften. It's okay to have a little flexion in the spine. Couple of deep breaths. Good job. And let's crawl our way forward. We're going to get a little bit active here again in that runner's lunge. Right leg extend. Try to drop this left thigh like it was a heavy weight on it, but at the same time, lift the back right thigh up. Good. Get really strong into the feet. See if you can just hover your fingertips off the floor. Legs are strong, or stretch your arms out to the sides like wings. Good. Stay here. Another breath. Right leg is so straight and strong. And then we'll rise all the way up. So the back right leg could bend a little bit here. You want to feel quite light and buoyant in the upper body and the hips. If it feels a bit much today, just rest the right knee down. See if you can lift up and backwards just a little bit more. And then dive your way all the way down. Again, we're going to step back to that downward facing dog. Settling it out once or twice each side. Let's ripple our way forward to a high plank position and just hold it there for a breath or two. Feel really strong and stable in the shoulders and in the core. And if you need to, set the knees down. We're going to lower ourselves all the way back down to the mat. Take your time to come down. This time, hands press on the floor outside of your hips and thighs. And again, you'll rest your forehead and bridge of nose down. Initiate the movement by lifting the shoulders up away from the floor. Press into the tops of the feet and now lift the forehead. So you press so strongly into the tops of the feet, the glutes engage, the thighs engage, you can feel the knees lifting. Slowly set it back down. Lift the shoulders, press into the palms and the tops of the feet and lift the torso. So you hold here. Actually, this is quite a lot of effort. Yeah, lifting the legs is almost a little bit easier. Press down into the soles of the feet. Lift the torso more. Good. And then lower down. Now this time we're going to interlace the fingers behind the back. If that fits, yeah? Roll the shoulders off of the floor. Peel the head, neck up. The knuckles stretch to the heels. Can you focus on stretching the chest? Open a little more. That's it. Now, right at the end, we're going to lift those legs, stretch back through the toes. And I want you to bring your heels together and open, little pulses. Heels together and open. Pulse them together. Legs are straight. Lift the upper torso. You breathe for 3. Squeeze for 2. Lift the chest. And lower down. Great work, guys. Lift yourself up. Just crawl the knees forward and together. Move into your child's pose. But do try to fit the hips to heels and then try to bring the forehead to rest on the mat. I would suggest if you can't get the forehead to the mat today, you might even use that cushion and get the forehead down and then work on crawling the bum backwards, yeah? Staying here for just a couple of breaths. Let's crawl back up onto our knees. If your knees are a bit sensitive, you might want to use the cushion. I'm going to face long ways here, and you can spin out so your long ways on your mat if you'd like. Left leg is going to go out to the left side, and the toes face to the long edge of the mat. Hips are level, and we'll spin the right arm up, glue the right arm to the right ear. Feel the lift, and then slide the left hand down the left leg. Not pushing into that left hand, really giving ourselves some space down the right side of the foot. Doesn't it feel so good to get a little bit active in the middle of the day and then a gentle stretch and release? Let's take this right hand so it's at the back of the head. You're going to cup the back of the head. Press the head into the hands, the chin lifts, and now stretch that same right elbow towards the left ankle. Keep pressing head back into the hands. Just notice how that sensation shifts. Come on up. We're going to give you two options, okay? Right hand's going to go down. So option one, you're going to choose to take some gentle rotations here. Option two, you're going to lift the top left leg, bend it, and hold the left foot. Yeah, if you've chosen option two, I don't want you to go for a really deep back bend, but rather lengthen the tailbone down. Yeah, if you stay with option one, we're rotating the spine. Whichever one feels better for you today. If you have the foot, kick it a little further. Try to spin your sternum up to the ceiling for a moment. Look up. Yeah. And then slowly release. Coming up. Ooh. Your right leg goes straight up. Right toes face the long edge of the mat. And we level the hip. Left arm reaches up. And we just gently slide down. Good. So it feels like your body's just between two panes of glass. You don't want the bum sticking out or the shoulders falling forward. Reaching and stretching, softening into it. Of course, you could stay here, or try bending the left elbow, tuck the back of the head with the hand, and then push the head backwards so that the chin is lifted off the throat. Stretching left elbow more towards right ankle. Even try to push your pelvis a little bit forward. You almost can't quite put your finger on exactly the muscles, but you know those muscles that you're stretching right now get really tight when we sit all day, huh? And then slowly peeling yourself up. So we lower the left hand down. Do make sure the left shoulder steps on top of the hip. Option one, you're going to go with your rotation. Option two, lift the top right leg and bend the knee. Hook the foot. Sometimes you have to kind of arch the spine a little bit to find the foot, but then I want you to kick the foot into the hand. Use that to roll the right shoulder on top of the left or even behind. Spin the chest up. Remember, if you have the foot, you want to be lengthening the tailbone down. Yeah, try to get the arch out of the middle or the low back there. And if you're in your rotations, make sure each time you extend the right arm up, the hips open, they come all the way forward. Wherever you are, you have just one more full breath. Good. You can go ahead and release it out. Press yourself up, and we're going to come to Vajrasana. That's both knees down, hips on feet. Yeah. If kneeling pose doesn't feel good for you, you can come and sit cross legs. Otherwise, we're just here kneeling pose. Yeah. Give yourself a nice full deep breath in. And exhale all the breath out. You're going to do a brief round of breath of fire. So that's going to be pumping the belly. We're exhaling and the belly comes in. We don't have to inhale. The belly just falls out and we actually breathe in. Exhale, belly falls out. Exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. It starts to get fast. Sounds like but breath goes out the nose. Let's start by inhaling only about halfway full. See if we can continue. Exhale, 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 exhale. Try to continue. If you find you're not getting the breath to come in naturally, just pause, take an inhale, and just work the exhale pulsing for now. We're going to try another 5, 4, 3, good, 2, 1. Exhale all the breath out. And then take a deep breath in. Reach your arms up, even look up. Hold the breath inside if you can. Open the mouth and sigh the breath out. Great job. Okay. You're going to bring the soles of the feet together, sitting on your bottom, and you'll lie yourself all the way back. Place both hands on top of the abdomen, but down near the navel or below. Lengthening the neck so that your chin actually is pointing a little bit to the ceiling, not down to the throat though. I want you to feel the space beneath your hands. As you exhale and empty, the hands drop down. As you inhale, see if you can fill your hands up like a big balloon. As you exhale, let them drop down. As you inhale, fill that balloon, fill the hands and expand, and pause, hold the breath inside. And exhale, let them fall down. Notice yourself hovering empty of breath. A deep inhale, full of breath. Pause. A complete exhale. Empty of breath. Pause. Inhale, last round. You bring the knees together and draw them gently in towards the chest. Feel that release at the low back. Release at the hips. And you'll just gently roll over towards one side of the body. Pause for a moment. The first thing that comes to mind that you're so grateful for today, bring that to mind, bring that to heart. And when you're ready, press yourself up in gratitude. Let's plant the seed of that gratitude here at the heart center, the two palms pressed. As always, it's so fun to see you guys each Tuesday. No. Lovely, guys.